All right, y'all. Welcome in, welcome back. I have recorded this reading 3 times now, and every single time it felt really weird. There's something really off about it. And part of the reason was that I think I was like overthinking how to give you this message. But basically what the message today is saying, if you were drawn to this reading, it's going to be short and sweet. This is your friggin' sign. This is your sign, okay? What you were working on, what you were doing, what the creative project that you think is going to bring you some success, finally, after a long time of refining and of figuring out how to make it you, really, how to do this in a way that feels really like you, that is literally going to bring you all the abundance that you have been wishing for. Look at these cards. We have 9 of Pentacles, we have 2 of Cups, we have King of Pentacles. Man, we even have 4 of Wands here. And we have this card that says, "To you the earth yields her fruit." And it's from my favorite deck that I've been reading out for every reading. It's the Khalil Gibran Prophet deck. And I'm going to read this to you. So listen up. "To you the earth yields her fruit, and you shall not want if you but know how to fill your hands. It is in exchanging the gifts of the earth that you shall find abundance and be satisfied. Yet, unless the exchange be in love and kindly justice, it will but lead some to greed and others to hunger." Okay, so we're locking in. The message today is like threefold. The first aspect of this: the earth yields her fruit, and you shall not want if you know how to fill your hands. This is a deep message about recognizing inherent abundance and recognizing how to fill your life with beauty, with love, and with a feeling of gratitude, right? I'm not going to go deep today into like the spiritual practice of gratitude and of like a feel like that sort of sense of abundance that we can, or state of abundance that we can live within. Because I think there's already so much talk, there's so much out there about that. But if you know how to fill your hands, this is a really interesting prospect to me. And I think it has a little bit to do with not just a mindset of abundance, but also how we can fill our time in a way that feels like love, in a way that feels devotional. The second point: in exchanging the gifts of the earth, you shall find abundance and be satisfied. Okay, so to me, look, in connection with this Whispers of Mother Earth card, where we have creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel, that speaks directly to those of you tuning into this reading who are creatives, who are writers, who are speakers, who are channelers, who are artists. Whatever you do, whatever you're creating, whether it's a business or an art or many things combined, this message is for you. And this line, in exchanging the gifts of the earth, you shall find abundance and be satisfied. It's so specific. It's so specific. This is our sign today, that like what you create with your hands, and look at this image of the hands. What you create from your own self, whether it's physical objects or music or words or concepts, whatever, what you create will literally bring you will bring you wealth, will bring you satisfaction. And I don't mean this just in a spiritual sense. I mean this in an earthly sense. Material matters. You will get more than you need. You will be satisfied, okay, from what you are actually creating. And unless the exchange be in love and in kindly justice, it will lead some to greed and others to hunger. So that's our final message today, which is we have to work from authenticity and from love. And we have to work kindly justice. We have to work with the intention in our hearts for service, not for taking, not for our own personal acquisition of wealth, not for anything other than that, really. And it says that it will lead some to greed and others to hunger. This relates to ourselves as creators. How some of us will become greedy, some of us will become hungry for more, always more, if we're not leading from love first, if we're not leading from justice, from beauty, from truth. It also means that what we create can lead others to those things as well. And this is so important. This is about accountability. This is about integrity as a creator. When you create from a place of truth within yourself, real truth, not an adopted truth, not a belief, not something that you think needs to be done in a certain way, not something that's been handed to you, but when you get really silent and when you tap into your inner self, to the silence there, not the noise, not the thoughts, but just the presence, just the sensation of existence, of being, and you spend a little bit of time in that silence, and then you move, then you create, then you do something, that is your true self coming forth. You've allowed that self space to be experienced, right? There's like a point within you that is your portal, your connection to not only to the divine, to everything, but also to your true voice. It's like your voice comes out from there, and you also connect to everything from there. And I've lost my train of thought, but hopefully you're following me. And I'm not going to start this reading over again, okay? So bear with me. But when we work from there, then everything that we create, it has a frequency like that, right? And so when people interact with it, when they engage with it, then they also take in that frequency. They respond back to it. They experience it. It flows through them with that frequency. And then it will in turn, help them to be, in a sense, in a state of truth, in a state of personal alignment. If that's, in whatever way. It'll be different for everyone. But it's like if you're making art from an authentic place, whether that's play or devotion or just experimentation, then when people engage with that, they're engaging with that energy that you created that thing with, to some degree, And if we create things from a place of hurrying, from rush, from thinking that we need to, from presumed expectation, from a place of wanting to be approved of, wanting to be liked, rather than just what we want, then the things that we create in some way participate in others also losing track with themselves, okay? It's so powerful to be a creator, to be a business owner, to be an artist that works from a place of real integrity, that works from a place of wanting people to find their truth, to be in actual true alignment when they come into contact with, our work. It's so powerful to be doing things from a place of authenticity and integrity. And that's what this is about. This is about, look at this, Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords into the Nine of Pentacles, okay? We have someone here who is, and this is you, who is so clear on what is true for them, so clear on what feels right, that anything that feels out of alignment is immediately cut away, or it's seen very clearly. And in that clarity, that is where this abundance of the Nine of Pentacles flows. This is how she can build her wealth, is through this like cutthroat, no, that is not me, that is not true, that is not it. And when you stick to your integrity, when you stick to your values and your sense of pure centered truth, then you build this wealth. And that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. That's why you're here listening to this as your sign. This is your sign. This is an activation of your own energy. This is you being reminded by the universe that what you're creating is going to build you actual financial wealth, actual like a beautiful life of all the things that you need and want. This is a bougie bitch card. And it will come because you're working from a place of truth, from a place of kindly justice, from love. Okay? So amazing. And then we have the Six of Cups and the King of Pentacles. Oh my God, I'm holding too many things. Interesting, right? We have this like childlike energy, and then we have this masculine, grounded King Midas. Everything I touch turns to gold. And that comes, I know I can see this message now, is that gift of creating wealth, gold, abundance, everything you touch, you're just making money. You're just freaking making money. And it comes from being grounded in this inner child, in a connection with the self, and also in a connection with values. Things, as your life has gone along, you've really discovered what it is that you truly value, that's really important to you. And that has, let me get comfy. That is now founding the basis for work that is going to really make a difference in the world, and is going to be quite a permanent fixture for you to build wealth on and to build legacy, but also a permanent fixture that others will be able to engage with for a long time. I'm feeling the energy of of icon, of something that becomes so established that it lasts for a long time, lasts for a lifetime or multiple lifetimes. This is something that's going to build you wealth beyond just yourself. It's going to build wealth for many to come. It's also like wealth that will be shared. Like you will be able to, in this lifetime, share your wealth with a lot of people and build things that you need to build, like structures, maybe there's like a retreat or something that you're going to live, like a school, something that you're building that you want other people to engage in, and it might have something to do with children. Okay, I'm just saying. There's a secondary message here, the whole message around greed. And with King Midas coming up for me, this is a really important myth to talk about right now, because part of activating this frequency of wealth, of high wealth, of I am actually a king, I'm actually a queen, I really am literally bringing in way more money and riches and abundance than I ever thought I possibly could. Part of being in that frequency is also now about being accountable with that wealth, right? Stepping up and being like, shit, okay, I got this money, what am I going to do with it? And in the story of King Midas, of course, he wishes for the ability to turn everything he touches to gold. And that comes from a place of greed. That wish comes from a place of greed. He wasn't entirely evil at all, but he thought, maybe, and underneath greed, there's probably fear. So if I'm not able to create as much wealth as I possibly can, maybe I won't be safe. We don't know what the deep working, psychological workings of King Midas would be. But we can take this myth as a kind of not just a cautionary tale at all, but as a divine message about what happens when we manifest from a place of fear or greed, just needing more, just needing more for ourselves without any thought to anything else, just this need, this mindless need. Because what happens when King Midas is able to touch everything and turn everything to gold is that he ends up turning his beloved daughter into gold. And then he turns his like wife into gold. He turns these things that are these people that are so much more meaningful to him than any riches and any gold could ever be. They're priceless. They're his loves, and they're not things, right? And then he turns them into solid gold, and he can't interact with them. He basically ends their lives temporarily. And he's like overcome with grief and with madness. And then he realizes that if he touches everything, it all turns to gold. And then he's surrounded by just gold. And he's like, he can't touch anything. He can't connect with anything anymore. And it's such a beautiful story about the transformation of greed into love and into realizing what matters. And I think it's interesting too, because most of us who are tuning into this reading aren't necessarily greedy people at all. In fact, we're usually the opposite. Like heart-led creators that would be drawn to my readings are, you guys are people who were already deeply invested in the well-being of others and in community connection, and you have your sights set on being successful with the intention to then hopefully share it with others, or to at least make a positive impact in the world in some way. And so it's funny that this message is coming through as a way to help us to stay connected to our values, to stay connected to what truly matters, to ground ourselves. And it's interesting because at a different time in your path, you might have needed the opposite of this message, because you had to build up a certain kind of self-concept to even consider yourself worthy of huge amounts of abundance, right? Clearly, King Midas doesn't have that problem. Maybe deep down he does, but he doesn't seem to have that problem. He has the problem of always wanting more. And I think where the sneaky little connection is here is that oftentimes, if we have old patterns of fear of loss, or fear of things not quite going the way that we want them to, or we have childhood patterns of poverty, or memories of poverty, and trauma that sits in our system, it can really still be influencing the ways that we move through the world, even when we have done a lot of healing around something. So what I'm really getting is like, even though you feel like you may have healed and transmuted a lot of your abundance minds, or your lack mindset issues, pain around not having enough, there can still be a seed of fear deep within that is motivating you to build what you want to build. And this reading is a reminder to bring it all back, to consistently every single day while you're building your business, bring it all back to your heart, and to remember that that is what you're working from, that is what matters. And I'm taking this message because it's a beautiful message. And then consistently tapping into that heart space so that we can then move forward with a true desire to build something that is heart-centered and that connects people, or that connects us with someone else, that it's a heart-to-heart, right? So we have the Four of Wands here and the Two of Cups. So, I mean, aside from the fact that if you're listening, there's a soulmate here for you. That is clearly present. It's coming in, or it's already here as a confirmation. So whoever you're with is your, soulmate. But I think that what this really, the Four of Wands for me is a heart space, heart chakra card. It just always has been. It's about a heart opening. It's that portal that I was talking about to the self, that the space behind the heart, the true spiritual heart, is this portal. And it's a place, it's a home. It's a place that we can come back to always, and to celebrate, and to find devotion, and to find truth there. That's the place that we return to. The Four of Wands here is a place of returning. And so is this Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is about returning. It's about returning through the heart, through memory, but also through the emotional body, right? Reattuning to the self, reattuning to innocence within. And it doesn't mean like just the inner child, but this place of purity within, right? True purity isn't like about dirtiness or like actual, anything like that. It's just about truth. And the Two of Cups, it has to do with filling your cup so you can fill others, but with truth, with authenticity, right? And that by doing this, that what you offer the world is healing. It's a healing offering. And then what you get back is a healing offering. And this is about reciprocity. So the whole message today is that what you're creating is bringing you money. Stay connected to your heart space, because when you give from your authentic truth, and also that means from your true heart, then what you get back will truly satisfy you. It really will bring you what you desire, and it will be reciprocal. And there won't be this kind of feeling of, over time that you're taking from others or that the world is taking from you. This is reciprocity and balance. And I'm so excited for you. So excited that you are unfolding into this part of your life. This is an incredible, incredible activation. There has been a period of rest so that you can really get to know yourself in this way, so that you can really send down roots deep into yourself, so that when you grow, you're so centered, you're so balanced. And this is the time of growth. This is the bloom. So thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited for you. Please comment, tell me what you've been going through, if this resonates, how this feels for you, or anything else, anything you want to share. I would love, and I think other people would love for you to share if you can. And yeah, there are ways to work with me if you're interested. Check the description box. Otherwise, I'll see you again here soon.